How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. And it is Old Ale time in the form of North Coast's Coast Stock Cellar Reserve 2013. If you watched any of my Old Ale reviews, wee heavy reviews, most reviews, there's a couple beers I wax poetic about. Thomas Hardy, G.W. Lee's, and North Coast Old Stock. To me, old ales are really, my favorite style of base beer, non-barrel aged beer, and it's absolutely beautiful when they barrel age them. North Coast has been barrel aging their Old Stock ale, which ages, like I said, beautifully on its own, but they've been cellaring it in barrels since 2005, I believe. They did in 2005. They did Old Stock Cellar Reserve in 05, 09. 11 and 13. Each year alternating barrels. First year was Bourbon. First year was Brandy. Second iteration was Bourbon. Third was Brandy. And this year's is Bourbon. So I'm super excited to give it a whirl. Last Bourbon one I had was 09. It was absolutely beautiful. I dug it. It's been a while since I've had that one. So, yeah. What can I say other than I'm super jazzed to give this a whirl. As far as what it says on the bottle, Old Stock Ale 2013 Cellar Reserve, North Coast Brewing Company, aged in bourbon barrels. Government warning stuff on this side. Old Stock Cellar Reserve is a small batch, limited release that has been aged in bourbon barrels. The aging process gives us world-class beer and add layered complexity. A memorable drink should be enjoyed as completely unique offering. And recommended serving temp 60 degrees. Should be right around there at 14.1% alcohol. Pretty sure 2013 Old Stock is 11.9%. So you're talking about 11, 13, about a 2% jump in alcohol. It's not too shabby. Yeah. Yeah, man. Super excited to crack this sucker. If you watched my best of, I only reviewed one Old Stock Cellar Reserve, and it was our 2011. Last year, I reviewed it, and if you watch my best of beers that I reviewed in 2014, the Old Stock Cellar Reserve was #1 for me. So hopefully we have another winner on our hands here. Oh, label-wise, I did a whole label thing. Awesome. Quintessential classiness when it comes to North Coast. From their basic label for their Old Stock to the Cellar Reserves, they're very similar. As you can see, one's over my shoulder. Absolutely beautiful labels, classy, almost like old schoolish, and the fact that it's very simple but to the point. So there you go. So let's see what this sucker has. Nice. What I remember, the 2009 was a much lighter. It's not light, but much lighter beer than the 2011. The Brandy barrel ones, for me, seem to come out a little bit darker than the 2009 version. This one seems somewhere in between the 2009 version and 2011 version as far as color. Then again, it's much newer beer. I mean, it's 2013, but the 2011 that I reviewed, I believe, was at least a couple years old. So it had a finger or so full of head when I poured it, dissipating quickly. Zero creaming to it whatsoever. It's just bubbles dissipating quickly. Barrel aging can do that. Color-wise, it just looks like a beautifully aged old ale. It just has this nice, cloudy, murky, reddish hue to it. It's like mixed between red and orange. Decent amount of carbonation, which is a little bit surprising for being a barrel-aged beer. But, yeah, looks nice. Let's see what she smells like. Holy bourbon. Wow. Bourbon, first thing, smacks you in the face. After that, you get that quintessential old ale kind of smell. A little bit of a little fugly hop. A nice malty sweetness, like a toffee caramelish nose. Maybe even a little bit of figginess. And coming through that, which is atypical of a aged old ale, a little bit of pruny raisin, like that aged pruny raisin. I like to call it raisinettiness, so where it's like a raisin with a hint of chocolate. But yeah, it's bourbon mixed with a beautiful old ale. That's what I'm getting out of that sucker. So, yeah. She looks the part. She smells the part. Cheers. Wow. Wow. It's this creamy, like super, you mixed bourbon with caramel almost. I made it like a viscous liquid and then poured that into a nice aged old ale. Oh, wow. There's a little bit of booziness there, a little bit of heat, but enough to know that it's there, not overpowering. It's not burning or anything like that. But yeah, I mean that, ooh. It's like candy. It's like Werther's Original wrapped in a raisin, wrapped in chocolate, and then dipped in a little bit of caramel. That's exactly what this beer tastes like. And that's a fantastic thing. There's, like I said, there's still a carbonation there. And it has this almost like which is unique to the barrel aging, because usually kind of, not that you get flat beer, but it's usually not as effervescent. And there's a little bit of effervescence there, which kind of just brings up an added complexity to it. That bursting of bubbles just brings a little bit more flavor to it, and it just kind of works. You know, North Coast isn't known for their barrel aging. They really don't do much. Sans this in their old recipe, and I believe it's the only two ones they do. But when they do it, they do it damn well. So yeah, I mean, that's delicious, rich, deep bourbon, but not overpowering. It's absolutely the first thing out of the chute, but it's complementary, and even though it is ahead of everything else, absolutely fantastic beer. Again, I led this off with me talking about how much I love Old Stock. So again, take that with a grain of salt, because I am obviously a little bit biased on this. But if it sucked, I'd say it sucked, and it does not suck. Especially, that's the whole thing with the beer review thing. Beer subjective. So if you watch these, it's more like trying to find somebody that's in the same mindset and the same palate range as you, and kind of glean information off them as to what new beers to try, because not everybody likes everything. So if you like the beers I like, you will absolutely go head over heels for this one. Rating wise, I would give it a 96. Give it a 96 overall. Gotta leave room for it to mature, because it's just going to get better. So 96 overall. Value and availability. Availability, it just started coming out. It's been out for about a month, maybe 2 months now. This is early March 2015. It's been out for a while now, but it hasn't creeped in my area. It came into Jersey, I would say, about a month or so ago. And it literally, after some badgering in a local to-go place, badgering them, it finally hit the shelf on Monday. So yeah, an availability scale. Right now, I would give it a 6, just because I know where to find it. Hopefully, more of it hits the shelves. Value. I paid $23 for this bottle. I've seen it for $18.99 at its cheapest in New Jersey, or I've heard it, or I know it's been bought for that amount. So there's a little discrepancy there. Jersey's quite a bit cheaper than Northeastern Pennsylvania. So again, grain of salt. It's a 500 milliliter bottle. It looks like a 750, but it's not. It's 500 milliliters. So it's kind of one of those things where I'm going to give it a 7 on a value scale, only because of how amazing a beer it is. If I could get this for $18, I'd probably give it a 9. If it was down around $15, I'd give it a 10 all day. But you just can't give it that high of a score based off its price point. So, I mean, it's an amazing beer. Should you buy it? Yes. If you're into old ales, if you're into barrel-aged beers, if you're into bourbon barrel-aged beers, and you like toffee, caramel, sweetness, and you like the bourbon to be, if not the star of the show, an equal partner, this is a beer you should definitely give a whirl. That's why I'm giving it a 7 on a value scale. Any other beer to 750 or a 500 milliliter, you kind of have to poo-poo on it at that price point. But hey, good beer is good beer. So, yeah, what did I say? 96 overall. Absolutely fantastic beer. I can't recommend it enough. North Coast Old Stock Ale, 2013 Cellar Reserve and Bourbon barrels. Beautiful beer. Absolutely beautiful. So, there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did or you didn't, or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. And like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. If you like to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Untapped. Massive beers in all 4 of those places. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a beautiful aged old ale right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.